Hello again and welcome to episode 66 of Main Street Martin and a return to the coastal town of Olhão for part 2 of our summer holiday 2026 here in the Algarve.
I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight, 'cause that'll be the life.
So this episode is the second in a new series exploring the Eastern Algarve, and we've flown from East Midlands Airport with Jet 2 and we're staying at the Real Marina Hotel and Spa in Olhão. And as you can see, today we're off on a cruise around 3 nearby islands on the edge of the Ria Formosa. So our guide is really comprehensive, telling us all about the history of the islands, where we're going to be going, and a lot more. This is the first of the islands, Culatra. This is where we'll be stopping for about an hour and a half, just bypassing another island called Deserta, and then we're going to go on to Lighthouse Island from 3 o'clock. From the shore, this doesn't look as though there's much here, but there is a whole community, fishing community. There's a school here that takes elementary pupils, and then when they get older they get a boat to school on the mainland. There's a church here, there's a community centre where they run their own government for the island, helipad for obvious reasons, although there is a medical centre here as well, and there's also plenty of shops and restaurants for the locals who are a fishing community. A lot of oyster fishing around here as well. We passed the oyster farm on the way here. We're going to be docking in a couple of minutes and then we'll explore the island. So this is the first of our stops, and this is well known for its incredible beaches. It has crystal clear water and a deserted island feeling. Now when you first step off the dock here, you come to the small village and Igreja de Culatra, the church. And set around the building are some information boards showing photos of what life in the past was like for the Culatra fishing community. The village is a relaxing place to explore, and if you look around it consists of small paths, bungalows and a few small cafes. It really does feel like the pace of life has slowed down. Now the main reason to visit for most people is the incredible Praia de Culatra on the southern side of the island. It's an extensive white sandy beach. It stretches the entire length of the island and the most remote and wild section is right at the western tip. But if you head west, you'll find Praia de Ilha de Farol, which is where we're going later on. And to get to the beach, you'll first need to cross the island and its dunes on what is a 1 kilometre long boardwalk. Now the boardwalk itself is impressive, and it serves two purposes. As well as offering a quick and easy way across the dunes, it also protects them from human contact. So if you do come here, please keep to the boardwalk and don't attempt your own crossing. And once you've walked across, you'll come to a beautiful and remote beach that looks like paradise. So this is a blue flag beach. It's well known for well-maintained facilities, for cleanliness and great access. There are accessible toilets here, and during the day it's got a lifeguard as well. So it's perfectly safe to swim in the crystal clear water too. Disabled access to the beach is also great, and as you can see there's a long running boardwalk and access ramps along the way.
There you can take a photo from the base to the top of the lighthouse. The lighthouse is closed when we opened Navy Day. That was at the beginning of June. And you have one on the left that goes directly there. And leaves at 4.5 I think. Some queues, long queues come from there, especially on weekends. So if you came, you pass to them so that you can go to the private place.
So on the boat, our guide was telling us all about Farol, or Lighthouse Island, which is another small community actually located on Culatra. Now, even though the names suggest they are separate islands, they're in fact two different parts of the same 6 kilometre long island. This is another relaxing place to visit, and in the village of Farol you'll find pretty houses, wonderful gardens, a few small coffee shops, all within walking distance of beautiful beaches beneath the stunning lighthouse. Now, the lighthouse of Cabo de Santa Maria first operated here in 1851, but the structure today is a little more modern than that. The original structure, though, reportedly the first lighthouse to be built in Portugal. It was modernised in 1949, it was electrified at the time, and a maritime radio beacon was also installed. Today, as you look up, it stands at 46 metres high, and it's an imposing structure on the surrounding scenery. Now, fully modernised, the lighthouse emits 4 flashes of light in a 17-second cycle and has a range of more than 25 miles. Now as we go back to our boat, you can see there are other ways of getting here if you don't want to commit to a tour. The ferry to Ilha de Farol and Culatra costs just around €1.85. Alternatively, if you want to pay a lot more, a water taxi or a tour boat can cost up to anything like €25.
Portuguese and Japanese, once in a while, a factory boat came from Japan to trade the tuna. The tuna here is not the price that sometimes in Japan they reach €1 million, but anyway, they like our tuna, so the last one sold here was for about €10,000. Yeah. Someone's glad to carry on the groceries. On that corner, the right corner of the fishing dock, there are big boats. These big boats go after the drug dealers that came on also speeding boats, try to catch them. There comes 2, 3 engines, and we have a military airport here on the right also. This is for coast line control, illegal immigrants, and other ones. And they don't do 2 hangars. 200 only our company do hangars. We have 1 boat in the morning and another boat on the end of the day. Chairs from the local market, from local producers.
Good morning. Welcome back to Olhao after our day on the boat trip yesterday to the 3 islands, and we're here on Saturday morning, which is market day. So we're heading down into Olhão to see what the market is like, and also later today there's a festival. So we'll be back later this evening. As you can see, they're putting tables and chairs out, a PA system. There was a parade of sorts on Tuesday which we missed, but we thought we'd come back for this one on Saturday and see what's happening here today. So on our way back to the hotel, as you can see, they've pretty much set up everything here, but it's obvious now that this is a TV set of some description. There are lots of cameras around. They've set up a lot of tables and benches. There are some stalls around the outside, and then in the distance there's a small stage which looks like it's set for a chat show, but there's a musician warming up at the moment. So we're not going to come back to this because I think it's going to happen this afternoon. So by the time we come back tonight, it'll probably have happened already. But it's interesting. I only wish I knew what it was for. Good morning, it's Monday morning and we're here back again at Olhao station. Today we're heading to Tavira, which is the opposite direction to Faro. One thing we noticed at all of the railway stations that we've been to in the Algarve, they're really well maintained, always lots of colourful flowery bushes everywhere, as you can see here, and although the trains are pretty basic and very often covered in graffiti, the stations themselves are pretty clean and tidy. Now, we went to Tavira last year, you can see that on our previous series back in 2025. The train ticket, a return fare, can cost you anything between €2 and €5 depending on what time of day you travel, and it takes about half an hour. And here we are in Tavira. So this is Tavira. It's a small town which blends a historic riverside setting with many of the features of a more typical seaside resort, while at the same time retaining much of its authentic Portuguese charm. So although there was a festival here last year, the square was empty. Just behind it is the river, but it looks as though they're building a stage here for some live music at some point, possibly in early July. So Tavira is one of the oldest settlements in the Algarve. It's got a rich history spanning the Phoenicians, the Romans, right the way through to the Moorish period. And you'll also find plenty of evidence of its history, from its castle here to archaeological finds. Most people tend to start exploring Tavira from here, right here in the centre of the town, in the centrally located Praça da República. Here you'll find fountains, palm trees, a public auditorium, historic buildings, lots of cafes, and it's pretty impressive, particularly in the summer, and it welcomes you into the town. On one side of the square you'll find a long building with several archways. This is the Câmara Municipal de Tavira, or the Town Hall. This is Tavira's most historic bridge, the Ponte Romana de Tavira, or Roman Bridge. It's a misnomer though, because it's actually not Roman at all. It was built sometime around the 12th century to replace a bridge which is believed to have had Roman origins. It's a picturesque bridge though, pedestrian only, so you can take as much time as you like to take photographs and enjoy the views. This is the old bridge, which is pretty at night with the lights on. Gives you a view out down the river towards the Ria Formosa, and then down here on the right hand side was where the festival was taking place last year. Lots of market stalls and so on. It looks as though there are some down there by the indoor market, which you can just see in the distance, so we'll go and have a look down there in a moment. This slow-flowing river meanders out into the Ria Formosa lagoon. Within the lagoon you'll find sandbar islands and the popular Ilha de Tavira, the town's impressive island and incredible beach. And there are regular ferries or boat trips that you can take from Tavira out to the island, and I'll show you in a moment's time where that ticket office is. So this was the only convent in the Algarve belonging to the order of St. Paul I Hermit. It was founded in Tavira in 1606, close to the old bridge, and the church's floor plan is that of a Latin cross, which is a rarity among Tavira's churches. So let's go inside and have a look. So this is designed in the plain style of architecture known as Cha. It's also worth highlighting that part of this church's collection of paintings and religious imagery comprises works from different churches across the city. In fact, I'm told there are something like 37 churches in Tavira, but there are also arts here from decommissioned convents. In 1834, with the extinction of the religious orders, the church was handed over to the Brotherhood of Nossa Senhora da Ajuda, or Our Lady of Good Aid. So this is the church of the old convent of Sao Paulo. The order of St. Paulo, or St. Paul, had one convent in the Algarve, and this is it, in Tavira. And it began from a community of hermits. Now, one thing I would say, I know it sounds a bit like a broken record, but I think, as you've seen, wherever we've been, even in Faro, but certainly in Olhão and here in Tavira, everywhere is really chilled, it's relaxed, there's no frenetic pace, it's not overcrowded. Everything is reasonably priced as well, whether it's the cafes or the restaurants, whether you want a snack or a meal. It's fairly inexpensive overall, certainly compared to back home. And we just love wandering around, soaking up the atmosphere and taking in the sights, because Tavira is particularly picturesque, as you can see. Always decorated down this street and in the main square. There's always an event during the summer either happening or coming up, and it's just a really lovely atmosphere. So everywhere here is within a short walk of the main square, including the remains of Castello de Tavira. The once impressive castle was the location of fierce fighting between the Moors and Portuguese forces during the Reconquest period. So it's believed the first castle here was of Moorish origin, but evidence of a Phoenician settlement has also been found. Following the Reconquest and during the reign of King Dinis in the 13th century, it was repaired and reinforced. What remains today are just its thick stone walls and several towers. The panoramic views from the top of the walls here are some of the best you'll find in Tavira. So this is the view from one of the remaining towers at Tavira Castle, looking out there towards the Ria Formosa, down here to the river, beautiful gardens.
On va marcher devant toi.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, our boat cruise to 3 islands and our day in Tavira, but that's it for now. You can find out about our 2025 trip to Olhao, Tavira and Faro in more detail in episodes 56 to 59. In the meantime, take a look at the other videos on the channel featuring Caribbean and Mediterranean cruises, plus our visit to eco parks and theme parks in Mexico, the United States and Europe. And you'll also find a number of city breaks across the UK and Europe, as well as short breaks, providing you with top tips, hints and ideas. Above all, if you enjoy any of the videos here, you can really help the channel by clicking on the like button, ringing the notification bell and subscribing. And I hope you can join me next time for episode 67 of Main Street Martin, when we explore more of the Algarve from our base in Olhão in episode 3 of our 2026 trip, including a train trip to the Spanish border and the town of Vila de Santo Antonio.
I'm gonna go write a million songs if that's the way to be. I'll write a classic to beat them all and go down in history. I'll be the one to reach the stars, but only if you're with me tonight. 'Cause that'll be